Hello, welcome to the live stream, ladies and gentlemen. Really nice to wake up to another banger trade. We've got, that's two back-to-back bot trades that have done exceedingly well. We'll dive into it. And is this kind of a shifting of the sentiment? Is this a shifting of the price action? We had 2 months where the trading bot was not performing well, and not really surprising. Chop consolidation, volumes at incredibly low levels. People are getting very discouraged with the price action and the amount of time it's been taking to for Bitcoin to have a reversal to the upside. So yeah, really good to see kind of the shift in volume, see the shift in momentum and price action. Let's stop yammering and let's get into the TA. If this is your first time joining in, my name is JT. This is the Black Box Trading channel. We focus on Bitcoin fundamentals and technical analysis. A lot of these shows are technical analysis. If you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button, smash up the likes, ladies and gentlemen. And without any further ado, let's talk about the king of all crypto. That is Bitcoin. All right, here's the trade. Beautiful, picture perfect. This is the exact trade structure that we are looking for when we were designing Bangbox. It was a little sketchy at the entry because we had a huge candle. This candle alone on the 15-minute time frame was a 1% candle. That does make us a little bit nervous because if you had a 1% correction, we'd be stopped out. But we didn't get stopped out. We've been trailing that stop super tight. So the trade de-risked really, really quickly. We hit our take profit level number 1. We hit our take profit level number 2. We have 50% of the trade remaining and our stop is in a good amount of profit. Trailing stop loss is now currently up about 16, we'll call it 17%. Things are looking good, looking really, really good. So, that's the short-term time frames. That's what we're looking at. I expect this trend to continue. We're getting a little bit of a consolidation, a little bit of a bull flag. Let's go over to the hourly, see how it looks there. This could easily just continue on. I think we're front-running bullish sentiment into the FOMC meeting on September 18th. It is expected that the Federal Reserve is going to cut rates. That is just fancy bank jargon for them saying we're going to turn the money printer back on and we're going to see a global expansion of money supply, which Bitcoin has its bull markets in. Anytime the global money supply is increasing, that is the Bitcoin bull market. So we have about a year of Bitcoin bull market ahead of us from that point forwards, more than likely. Let's take a look at things on the daily. We are coming up against our first level of resistance here at the 128 moving average here on the daily. We do need to get above that. We did get a bullish close about an hour ago. Really big daily candle, beautiful daily candle, 4.13% for the close of that daily candle. We can, get a little bit of a retracement to kind of retest some of these levels, but the smaller time frames are looking bullish. I think we are kind of halfway. We're probably past halfway of this channel here. Let's throw another line down, see what we can see as far as support/resistance flips. Yeah, we're kind of broke past some of the resistance. If we were to take a retest, we'd probably retest back down to 59.5, something like that. But I think we'll go and take a little rally to at least get to the liquidity zone here of the prior high. We might give a run up to $64,000 before getting that reversal. It depends on how much demand shows up into the market as people are front running what is expected to be a rate cut on September 18th at the FOMC meeting. Let's go to the higher. Let's check out the 3-day. 3-day looking gorgeous. This will close in 24 hours. That's a very bullish 3-day close. Things are looking good. I think we have our support tested. Let's go over the weekly. This is basically our support, ladies and gentlemen. Getting back above it. On the weekly close, we could come down and maybe test, let's say 58. So, there are tests that can totally happen along the way. Also, on the day, on the 18th, on the FOMC meeting, expect volatility. There's always volatility on the day. Do with your bots what you will. If you decide to sit out on the FOMC meeting, it's anybody's guess what would happen in the context of a bang box trade, but expect volatility on that day. But it's going to be kind of the beginning of phase 2. We've been calling this for a long time. Let's pull up the alphanumerics indicator. Currently, our bullish bias for the bull market continuation is sitting at around $68,424 here on the index chart. So as soon as this star is taken out, that is going to flip our wave from red to green. Anytime the wave is green, we are usually in a bullish environment. Bullish environment, bullish environment, bullish environment. So a break of 68.5 and we're back into that bullish environment. And that could potentially be similar to what we saw back here. This was September election year 4 years ago. And the liquidity cycle easing, the rate cuts happened during that time, and we had a huge bull market from the top of that range to the top of this first peak was about a 400% move. So Bitcoin can, quadruple from this point, 400% move from the top of the from the current all-time high. Oh, I didn't give myself enough headroom. Let's go there. 400%, $374,000. Do you know how many brains are going to break with a price like that? People cannot comprehend. People do not understand how it is possible for Bitcoin to reach those prices. The world just doesn't understand Bitcoin. They don't think, because they think of it as a currency. There isn't a single currency on the face of the planet where one unit of that currency is worth 60,000 US dollars. So you can't blame them for not understanding it. But man, if they don't understand it at 60K, they are just going to be at a complete loss. They're going to be at a complete loss when we are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per coin. In my opinion, that is coming very soon. So this is marking the shift. This is marking the shift, in my opinion. All right, back onto the daily. Let's take a look at some of our moving averages. We're still below. We need to get these moving averages back into bullish alignment. Currently sitting on top of the 7. As long as price can stay on top of the 7 is currently at 58. As long as we can cruise above $58,000 for the next couple days, we will flip above the 30. We will flip above the 50. That will rearrange the EMAs into bullish alignment, and we will have continuation from that point. All right. What does this mean for altcoins? Are we seeing a positive day in altcoins? Let's peruse the list here. We're not seeing any spectacular outliers just yet. They are lagging Bitcoin. It's not altcoin season just yet. And that's apparent. Yeah, Bitcoin is, I guess we just got the close about an hour ago. We have a little bit of time to allow the altcoins to develop. Let's turn alphanumerics back off. But yeah, look at this. This is going to be probably one of our record trades. If we break out here and take out the highs and carry that stop up even higher to the 20% mark, that will be one of the better trades that we have taken with the Bang Box system. If you guys want access to this bot, it's 100% free. You go to blackbox.pro, blkbox.pro, sign up for free, start an account. Excuse me, got a little frog in my throat there. All you have to do is be an affiliate of ours. So if you aren't already set up on BitGet Exchange, start a BitGet account. You can hook the bot up to BitGet, and start trading for free. We also feed the signals into the Discord. Man, I'm getting tongue-tied today. Too much excitement. If you're watching here on YouTube, not the YouTube Shorts, but the main channel, you can scan the QR code that is popping up on the screen right now, or you can just follow the links down in the description to get into the free Discord as well, where we are feeding all those signals. All you got to do is be an affiliate. All right. Yeah, this is looking great. Really, really good. Okay, let's take a look at traditional finance. Let's shift gears just a little bit. We'll take a look at the S&P. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ. We'll take a look at gold and the dollar. Then we'll take a look at how Bitcoin dominance is progressing. And by that point, I'm sure you guys will have some questions. So if you have a question, leave it in the chat and let's talk about it. All right, S&P 500. Let's take a look at what we're seeing over there. Go to the weekly chart. Full recovery on this weekly candle. Bullish engulfing candle. That's a bullish candle. That's a bullish candle. When do we open? Is it closed? I'm in Asia. I get all screwed up as far as yeah. Okay, so it closed as a bullish engulfing candle. That's going to be a pretty solid open on Monday open for the S&P. Let's see what we did with the NASDAQ. Bullish engulfing candle on the NASDAQ as well. For those who don't know what a bullish engulfing candle is, it is when the open and the close take up more space. The candle is larger than the candle prior. We had this bearish candle. We had a full recovery exceeding the levels of that. That is called a bullish engulfing candle. Heading into the FOMC, when they start to put the money printer back on overdrive, this is looking very positive as far as the fundamentals of the currency, fundamentals of the money markets. The global money supply is going to expand. When the global money supply expands, it usually expands for about a year. During that period of a year, every asset goes up. It's really simple. It's relatively predictable. Are you going to nail it day to day? No, but you know, month over month, year over year, we can draw some conclusions and some pretty bold predictions, I suppose you could say. Gold, all-time high. All-time high for gold. Gold is usually counter to the S&P. So we're seeing a lot of things go up. Gold is going up. S&P is going up. NASDAQ's going up. Everything's looking good. If we take a look at the DXY, we're probably breaking back down below support. And yes, we're sitting on support. What I want to see is a breakdown below it. So we do need the dollar to fall below this trading range. If we start to trend down, man, we're looking good. We're looking pretty sweet from that point forwards. All right, altcoins. What is going on with altcoins? Stability check on the stream. I'm getting a warning on one of the streams. It says my bit rate is too low. Let me know if I'm dropping frames. Let me know if everything's coming in clear and looking good on your end. Yeah, Bitcoin dominance. I'm not interested in chasing too many altcoins. I did take an allocation into one altcoin the other day. Again, if you guys want like the quickest access to the alpha so that you can follow along with the trades that we're taking, come into the free Discord. But yeah, we'll get into that. We'll talk about that coin in just a moment. But yeah, we're trending upside. You know, as long as this chart, Bitcoin dominance, as long as Bitcoin dominance is climbing, you're not in altcoin season. It's that simple. If you hang out on Twitter long enough with all the crypto degens who are around from last cycle, or they may be just from this cycle, they don't really know what they're talking about. They'll tell you it's altcoin season every other month. Altcoin season hasn't begun. It hasn't started. As long as this chart is in an uptrend, which it has been for years, we are not in altcoin season. As soon as that trend changes, as soon as we head to the downside, we will be in altcoin season. But excuse me, that has not happened just yet. I'm thinking that we continue to break past here, maybe even get to that 60% that so many people have been talking about, and then maybe we get the reversal at that point. That would fall under the context of Bitcoin getting a breakout, Bitcoin extending up to probably the 100K level before the end of the year. That will make this chart go up quite quickly because the altcoins are not going to be able to keep up with that price action because the fundamentals of demand are just not there. They're just not there. Can't wait for ordinal season. What's good? Skyfall, welcome in. Ordinal season is going to be huge. It's going to be massive. In my opinion, ordinals, you know what Bitcoin's really good at doing? Bitcoin is really good at lulling people into comfort of a narrative and then destroying that narrative. And there are a few narratives out there that Bitcoin is going to destroy this cycle. The first narrative is that Bitcoin has diminishing returns cycle to cycle. I think this cycle is going to be the first cycle where there is an increase in the prior cycle's returns. So that's one thing that I think Bitcoin is going to change. The next thing is Bitcoin doesn't do anything. Bitcoin can't have smart contracts. Bitcoin can't do this. Bitcoin can't do that. It's too slow. You can't do DeFi. DeFi is being built. It's being implemented on secondary layers. Bitcoin is being used as the settlement layer. We are having functionality be added to Bitcoin. And to get exposure to that, you need to be paying attention to the ordinal space. So the fact that most of the market thinks that Bitcoin's too slow and it can't do DeFi and you're never going to make any money on the Bitcoin ecosystem, that narrative is also going to be destroyed with BRC20s, the ordinals, runes, all of that stuff is going to be, it's going to just destroy it. How high do you see Kaspa going this cycle? Didn't you ask me this last time? And didn't I answer? I said, I don't know. Maybe that wasn't you. Maybe that was somebody else. But let's take a look at Kaspa real quick. Nobody can tell you how high it will go. That is the worst. That is the worst way to approach an altcoin trade. Your altcoin trade is over when the Bitcoin bull market is over. So pay attention to Bitcoin. When you think Bitcoin is topping out, you are taking profits on your alt. And that's it. Whatever the price is what the price is. So Kaspa is up an obscene amount of percentage. 34,000% currently to its all-time high, 41,000%. The reason I bring this up is, I'm not going to take a position in Kaspa. Yes, this is showing strength. This is showing its ability to be a market leader. And I've said on the channel, you want to position yourself alongside the leaders. But there's a lot of whales in this coin. They weren't whales when they came in, but they're fucking whales now. And you got to be careful with the whales because they need to sell at some point. And when they sell, they're going to have a huge influence on the supply of the market. There is a lot of wealthy people holding this coin. And I don't want to be the one that ends up holding the bag. So do proceed with caution with this one. If you are going to be investing, I would mitigate risk through positioning size, not financial advice. But yeah, it can totally go up. I just can't tell you what price, man. It can be anything. It can literally be anything. This could be the top of the cycle for Kaspa. With the probabilities of Bitcoin continuing to higher levels, that's a low probability statement. But the important thing is just focus on Bitcoin, because when Bitcoin is done, the whole market is done. So it's much easier to assign technical variables to Bitcoin, which has much more history, and we can kind of analyze its behavior as to what it's done in the past, and we can draw conclusions for what can happen in present time. And that will give you a much clearer picture. What the price will Kaspa be at the point at which Bitcoin reverses to the downside is anybody's guess. And anybody that tells you otherwise is either an idiot, or they're guessing, or they have a social media strategy and an agenda. just my target is up. Up until Bitcoin goes down. That's the target. And to be clear, I don't have a target because I'm not taking a position in Caspa. All right. Where were we? Bitcoin dominance. We were talking about Bitcoin dominance. Let's see how our friend ETH BTC is doing. And ETH BTC is continuing to get wrecked. As we've been saying, it was going to get wrecked for the last 2 years. We've been talking about this distribution. We've been talking about this downtrend. Our target at 3 million sats per ETH is still in play, and it seems to be accelerating towards 3 million sats per ETH. At 3 million sats per ETH, I think it will find a floor. It will begin to trade sideways, and then it can have the opportunity to break this downtrend, this red line of resistance. As soon as Ethereum gets above this red line of resistance, that is going to be the best time to allocate to Ethereum. As long as we're below, the assumption is it's going to stay below. And when we stay below it, we get lower and lower prices. Ethereum has been horrendous as far as an altcoin performer this cycle, just absolutely horrendous, especially when you compare it to something else like Solana. We can even go over to Solana BTC, Sol BTC. At this point in the market, you should be measuring all of your trading decisions. In my opinion, you should be measuring in Bitcoin because Bitcoin is so strong and we're seeing Bitcoin dominate the market. You need to make sure that anything that you are allocating to is outperforming Bitcoin as a baseline. It's easy to outperform the dollar. The dollar is being inflated into infinity. It's going to zero. That's not hard. That's not an achievement to outperform the dollar. What is an achievement is outperforming Bitcoin. Ethereum has not been able to do that, but Solana certainly has. Solana's been doing really, really well. And a little bit of a consolidation right here. It's kind of it's not a great consolidation, if I'm being honest. Let's go to kind of the daily, see if we can get some better clues. Kind of looks like a complex head and shoulders, but we can simplify that and just keep it simple. Simple is best. One stupid line is often the best. So, keep it simple. Below this line, bearish. Above this line, bullish. Keep in mind, this is the Bitcoin chart. So if Bitcoin does begin to rally up past the 70, up past the 80 and into the 100K level, then of course, all of the altcoin charts are going to be showing red candles as Bitcoin is just tearing up the market and getting everybody super excited about crypto. So let's take a look at Solana on the USD pair. And we'll get a little bit of a different picture, I'm sure. Yeah, it's a clearer picture. We have kind of a triangle formation here. So a little bit more of a not predictable, but more textbook analysis, I suppose you could say. Something like that. A break of this triangle would be a bullish sign. But yeah, the alts are just not showing an incredible amount of strength. They're not. It's just not altcoin season yet. All right. So let's talk about the asset that I took an allocation in, and that is Fractal Bitcoin. FractalBitcoin.io. Fractal mainnet is now live. Let's go take a look at, let's view the Explorer here. Let's take a look at the blockchain. So these blocks go every 30 seconds. This is a Bitcoin fork acting as a layer 2 where the blocks are larger, the throughput is higher, and the OpCat, which is a smart contract functionality program ability for Bitcoin, is enabled. So most of this code is Bitcoin core. It is a Bitcoin fork with a few adjustments to allow for more functionality to act and facilitate as a secondary layer for Bitcoin. The Bitcoin miners are in control of this. It is not a proof of stake network. It is a merge mining network. It uses proof of work. And there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of excitement out there. So We are at currently block 16,000. At block 21,000, which you do like 1,000 blocks a day. It's way quicker than Bitcoin. The BRC20 tokens are going to be indexed and listed here. So you'll be able to buy, sell, and swap BRC20 tokens on Bitcoin's layer 2 Fractal Bitcoin. Now, this is not a typical layer 2. Usually when you use the term layer 2, the currency of that layer is going to be the same currency of the base layer. So technically this is a side chain because the currency for processing transactions is not Bitcoin. The currency for processing transactions is called Fractal Bitcoin. Let's go to CoinGecko and take a look at Fractal Bitcoin. It's a hot topic right now. Let's take a look at the max. It's up, currently sitting at $27. Current circulating supply is 1.4 million tokens. So it's going to be really volatile in the beginning. This token is issued through mining. It is a mining reward at this point. And yeah, so this is the gas token for processing transactions on that Bitcoin layer 2. This layer 2 is going to be for ordinals. It's going to be for BRC20 tokens. It's going to be for runes. It's going to be for all of this kind of expensive Bitcoin DeFi liquidity pool stuff that we couldn't do on the base chain. That's now going to be done on the secondary layer. This blockchain is run and organized and operated by Unisat, which is one of the biggest, it is the biggest indexer of ordinals, and it's contributed a lot to the ordinal ecosystem. And not financial advice, but if this is successful, if Fractal Bitcoin, the network, is successful, users will be required to use FB, the FB token. If the users are required to use it, we can only assume that that's going to be enough of a demand to see a price increase in FB. Chat's kind of quiet today. Chat's kind of quiet. This was it. No more dips. All right, let's see how our trade's doing. Are we still in the trade? Are we still in the trade? Yeah, we're still in it. We're still in it. Current trade value is sitting at 26. Actually, we can see it over here, right here on BitGet Exchange. Links below to sign up for BitGet. By signing up for BitGet, you get access to the free bot. Current ROI 25%, looking really good. And I think it wants to go. I think it wants to go. It's looking good here. What's the RSI telling us? RSI is saying we're good to go. Quick little reset. Some people might say that's a bearish divergence. One thing about divergences to take into consideration is you have to take the period of the divergence. Usually a stock RSI is a 14 period average, which means if you don't see the divergence between 14 bars, it's not a divergence. So between 14 bars, we don't have a divergence. It is exactly the same. Here is the high, here is the second high, here is the high, here's the second high. It's a higher high. People will look at this and be like, oh, it's got lower highs. No, because it exceeded the period average. From this high to the high that people would be concerned about is double the period average. So it's invalid as far as a divergence. Again, there's no rules in TA. TA is kind of just a guidebook for you to make decisions, probability-based decisions. But, you know, it's out there that the RSI has that kind of rule. Are you bullish on all BRC20 tokens? No. Most of the BRC20s are a joke. Most of these things are a joke. Let's see BRC20 tokens. I would just stick to the top tokens. Let's go to the homepage here. Where can we get the categories? Where's the categories? Why can I never find the categories? Exchanges, cryptocurrencies by category. There we go. BRC20 tokens. Just keep it simple. Stick to the top ones. Ordinals. What are we looking for? Layer 2. Come on. Bitcoin forks. Did I miss it already? Probably rolled right by it. Probably rolled right by it. Where are the ordinals? I don't know. Let's try it this way. Let's go to Unisat. Let's go to Marketplace, Ordinals. And we'll go by volume. How do I organize by volume? BRC20. Sort by volume. Sorted by volume. Track, I think Track's going to do very well. Ordi, Sats. Stick to the top ones, you know, because most of them don't do anything. So you're pretty much just betting, you're gambling on the narrative. And the best way to gain exposure to the narrative is to just participate in the most well-known ones. Not financial advice. This is super high risk shit. Don't mess around with this if you don't know what you're doing, because you will get wrecked. Only ones I can think of are Ordi and Sats. Sats is a good one. I think Unisat owns most of the Sat supply. And Unisat created Fractal Bitcoin. So we'll see what they do with that. They want to pump their own bags. The new narrative that nobody can be a part of yet, that's nearly done, is CAT20, CAT20 tokens. If you don't have a node, you don't get to play. So everybody who's already spun up a node is minting the shit out of this. It's calmed down quite a bit. We're back down to 6 sats per VByte. This was in the thousands. It got up to at least 2,500 sats per VByte. So thank God that wasn't happening on the Bitcoin network anymore, because that would equate to like hundreds of dollars per transaction. But here it's nice and cheap and safe and more degen friendly. Doge is kind of the next one. A lot of these people are minting all this stuff out right now. There's no front end to mint on this. I guarantee you, as soon as there is a front end, it will jack the fees up once again. What are your views on Stacks dropping Nakamoto this week? I have felt that Stacks is not super strong. Stacks has been in the game for a very long time, and I think Unisat just stole all their thunder. This is just my opinion, but let's see what we got here. Yeah, it doesn't look terrible. Stacks could do well, but I just don't see people going to Stacks. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's different from your observations, but everything that I've done in the space has been on Ordinal's wallet, or it's been on Unisat, or it's been on Magic Eden. And I haven't gone to Stacks for anything. It was doing all of this stuff really, really early on. It had the first Bitcoin NFTs, really, if you exclude the Pepe playing cards. But it just never really got the traction or attention that I saw with Ordinal's wallet and Unisat. So, diversification is a joke. I'm not going to fucking diversify into STX. If it can totally go up, and it probably will, I just won't hold anything. You can't buy everything, and buying everything is stupid. So don't try to buy everything, because that's not a good plan. But yeah, it'll probably do well. I just, I'm not paying attention to it. And I feel like a lot of people fall under that category as well. Totally agree. Feel like they dropped the ball, but they were the first smart contract layer 2 on BTC. Yes, they were. And nobody's talking about it. And everybody is getting super stoked on Fractal Bitcoin. So marketing is a big piece, man. Marketing is a big piece. I'm going to stay out of stacks. If you hold stacks, wish you well. I think stacks will do well. I think we will see price appreciation in stacks. It's just, I'm not going to dabble. You got to be focused in this market. You can get distracted with too many things. If metaverse, gaming, AI, blah, 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 you can really get distracted. You can diversify your attention too much. Diversification is stupid. Focus in on something that makes sense to you and just go all in. Not with your money, just with your attention. All right. How are we doing? 40 minutes in. 40 minutes in. Let's take a peek at Nat Cats. Cats, I will say, this is based on not much, but just observations and narratives. Last cycle, it was all about dogs. Doge this, Doge that, dog with hat, blah, blah, blah. Keep an eye on the cats this one. This cycle, keep an eye on the cats. Let's take a look at Nat Cats. I just have a feeling that cats, and there's fundamental reasons for that as well. OpCat is one of the functionality features that were added to Fractal Bitcoin. So there's already cat in the name of a lot of the fundamental things that are going on with Bitcoin. OpCat is also being proposed to be implemented on the base layer of Bitcoin as well. That is a very contentious topic. I don't know if that'll pass, especially if Fractal Bitcoin ends up being successful. I actually hope that it doesn't pass. OpCat, we just don't know. It's a big change to the Bitcoin protocol. So in Bitcoin world, you don't like to touch the base chain too much. You don't like to touch the base layer. But yeah, nice little pop here. Let's get a few drawings on here. So we got above this kind of support / resistance flip, came down, tested it as support, still staying on top. That's a positive sign. I think if we can take out the high, I think if we can take out this high here, that'll be the beginning of a much larger rally inside of Nat Cats, in my opinion. Really strong community. Nat Cats is, as far as functionality is concerned, you're going to see a lot of, they're called block drops, which is kind of like an airdrop that you have to go and claim, and you can claim it at any point with any wallet, and you can transfer over ownership of an airdrop. Kind of cool. Those block drops are going to be, this is going to be one of the biggest projects, I think, for block drops. This one and Bitmap are going to be kind of the bigger block drop projects out there. And once those start going live and the market starts making money on them, this will go into a mania. We'll go into a mania. And then we'll see a premium. We'll see a Nat Cat premium. Do you have a virgin Nat Cat that has not experienced any block drops? Nobody has claimed any block drops, because that's what's cool about block drops as opposed to airdrops. An airdrop gets dropped into your wallet. A block drop entitles you to claim an airdrop based on ownership of the NFT. So you can transfer that. You can send it to somebody else, and you don't get the airdrop. They do. So you can sell that premium to them. You can say, this is a virgin Nat Cat. There's 1,000 different tokens sitting on this Nat Cat. What is going to be the price of 1,000 tokens sitting on a Nat Cat? We'll let the irrational market decide. What are you most bullish on for new developments on BTC? And if you could pick one meme coin, what would it be? Those are kind of polar opposite questions, don't you think? thing I'm most bullish on for Bitcoin is what's currently happening right now with Fractal Bitcoin. Fractal Bitcoin is going to introduce liquidity pools, and it's going to introduce trustless swaps. There is trust with using a layer that is not technically Bitcoin, but it's built on Bitcoin infrastructure. It's maintained by proof of work nodes. So it's already better than Ethereum. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about Fractal Bitcoin. I think that's a pretty good step in the right direction, especially if it means we get liquidity pools and swaps, which should activate. I'm thinking those are going to activate on block 21,000, which should be tomorrow or the next day. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Pizza swap, I think, is what it's going to be called. So that's kind of the big thing that we're waiting for. And if I could pick one meme coin, what would it be? Sats. Or Gib. I think Gib, actually. Gib is the meme coin I would pick. This motherfucker right here. Gib. Come on. It had a beautiful 100% move not too long ago. Went from like 30 sats. Yeah. It came from, oh no, not though. That's too low. It came from 24, now sitting at 65. Doesn't look like much of a move, but you know, it over doubled. And this is also a break of structure too. This can go up to higher levels. We have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a lower low, but a higher high. So the trend is beginning to change to the uptrend. There's also talks that this token might actually have some functionality as well. I can't tell if Benny is just trolling his community or not. He seems to say a lot of things that I believe are a troll, and that's okay. This is the internet. This is crypto. There's a lot of trolling in the internet and on crypto, but we'll see. Is this just going to be a meme? Is it going to be something that Benny actually creates some nice functionality with? But yeah, that's as close as I can get to a meme coin that might have utility one day. Same thing with sats. Oh, out of water. All right. I think that's it. How's our trade doing? We'll close out. We will close out taking a look at this trade. She wants to go, man. Bitcoin wants to go. Bitcoin wants to go. I think it's going to go for a run and kind of go and test that $63,000 to $64,000 level. And on that beautiful, bright, shiny moment, we are going to close things out. So yeah, if you guys aren't already in the Discord, check out the links down below or scan the QR code that you saw earlier on in the video and come say hi. And if you want access to our free Bitcoin trading bot, go to blackbox.pro, blkbox.pro, and sign up for your free Bitcoin trading bot today so that you can be the recipient of this beautiful trade that's currently up 26%. I mean, you won't be in this trade, but you'll be in the next one. So that is all the time I have for today. If you guys enjoyed this content, please leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, please trade safe. It is a jungle out there. Peace.